Thank you for stopping in. My name is Connor, and today we are going to be working through building a workout log in Notion. If you are someone who uses Strava or Training Peaks or any of these online platforms for documenting your workouts and routines, Notion is a good way to keep it private. Um, Not an enterprise level, but on a personal level, it's good to keep things private. Maybe it's actually motivational to keep it private um, instead of sharing it to the world and blasting it and having all that peer pressure. Um, the goal here is to create a robust system for you to catalog all of your workouts and to be able to take notes as you do your workouts, to be able to learn from your system, become a better athlete in whatever discipline that you choose. We're going to do it through Notion. So let's get into it. Okay, so what we have here is the base level Notion list here. I'm going to start out with a new page. So if you've used Notion before, I'm going to be making standard references to Notion's capabilities, but I just wanted to let you know that there might be some stuff that I do say um, that might need clarification just on the functionality of Notion. If that is the case, you can leave a comment below and I'd be happy to answer those questions. So, what are we making today? We're making a workout log. Cool. Um, with a headline in there, I think it's cool. The goal here is not to make it pretty. So the first thing we want to start with is, I thought that the best place to start is probably to look to build a database, and we want to build a database um, that is full page because we're trying to go into this workout log and then we're saying to ourselves, okay, this is like entering the gym. And you might not enter the gym and you see everything all at once, but to actually get down to the micro, you actually have to walk there. So we'll consider going into the workout log like getting into a specific area of the gym. So with that headspace in mind, we're going to actually build this as the all workouts database. And the reason I'm going to add an icon, sometimes I'll add icons preemptively because I'm looking to find something. Like my goal here is to, if I need to find all my workouts, I should be able to also visually see something when I'm referencing it. So I look for this yellow journal in this case. So in the all workouts library here, the first thing we're gonna want to do is we want to build a workout template. So in building a workout template, you have to kind of keep in mind what you're looking to build. These things are not just cut and dry. You're going to be working on very specific mediums. So today I'm going to make one that's entailed to biking, running, maybe swimming. These would be just a few modalities that could be involved with some of the metrics that we put into these databases, but more importantly, use the skills that we apply to this workout sheet to the custom categories that you would want to build into your workout log. All right, that's a lot of upfront information, but I think it helps give you a frame of reference for continuing through with this. So specifically, the first thing we want to do is we want to build a new workout template, and I'm going to make the workout template full width. Not recommend or not required by any means, but it looks nice. In this case as well, since it's kind of like a journal entry, I'm going to try to start with a serif font. So we're going to call this a new workout. And the first thing we're going to do is I want to name the vehicle of like what we're actually doing. In this case, for now, you can make this a drop down, a select. So we're going to call this vehicle. And for instance, we could choose running, biking. We could choose biking or cycling. We could call it swimming. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to specifically name all the things that we're going to use this for on a regular basis. resistance training. Maybe disc golf. There's a lot of walking involved in disc golf. So maybe what I'll actually do is I'm going to remove this for a specific reason. We're going to do walking as a workout. It's one of the best workouts that you can do. So we have a vehicle, we're saying to ourselves, within this category of running, biking, swimming, rock climbing, resistance, or walking. These are all different kinds of modalities. These are things that can also get tracked on a Garmin watch or any other kind of watch. So that would be a primary category for what we're logging in, but we're probably also going to want to dupe this or create another select. And let's call this one type. And the reason we're going to call it type is because we're going to go through the type of workouts that we would have. So specifically to running or biking, we're going to be building our aerobic capacity. So that is one way we could build our aerobic capacity. Another one could be strength, because we're working on resistance training. But this could also, it could be strength training, but it could also be core training, like core, body, abs, that sort of thing. Another one would be band work. So really what we're trying to do is the type category is going to be more broad or more specific. The vehicle is going to be more broad. What we're trying to do is just narrow things down. As you go later on to the sheet, you'll be able to narrow down what workouts you do and narrow them down by category or subtype. I like to be specific because you might be wanting to source a specific workout in the future that you've done in the past. You could use these types and subtypes to source that information more effectively, more quickly. So maybe another one would be, we're going for a long run in running category. You could also do speed work for running, cycling, anything like that. So the last one I'll call is dog walking. I choose to use this to catalog my dog walks as well and see the progress of my dog and how they do on the leash. So these are just a set of categories. We've got build, strength, core, band work, long run, speed, and dog walk. These are just good subtypes for anything. They would apply really to anything here. I mean, rock climbing could easily apply to building. It could also apply to strength, depending if you're doing bouldering or you're doing top rope. So these are just some types and subtypes that can really apply to each other in combination, and you can source workouts from there. The next thing we want to do is add a date category. And the reason we're going to add a date category is because it's important to source a date category, know when you did something. Pretty important. There's not much to change here. I personally like to work in the 24-hour setting. Just makes sourcing time easier. In my opinion, instead of putting AM, PM, it's really easy to just source. So that's my opinion. Full date, we could do month, day, year. I prefer to do year, month, and day, and we're all set. So when you click into here, you will immediately get a choice of date. All right, next thing we want is, let's do a number of miles. And let's make that a number of miles. In the number format, we're just going to keep regular bar. We're just going to keep it as a number, and then we're going to we're actually going to add a for now we're going to keep things simple. We're going to add a complete category that we're going to do a checkbox complete. The reason we're going to do a complete category is because you're going to want to know if you're scheduling a workout, if it's been done or not. So the goal here is we probably want to schedule some workouts during our week using this process, and in this case we want to have a complete category to know if we've done a scheduled workout or not. What else do we need to know? We probably need to know how we're feeling, so we need numbers before. Now, it's kind of hard to gauge how you want to categorize these numbers here, but in this case, I'm going to put a bar in, and I'm going to divide it by 10. And so, I'm going to divide it by 10. I'm strictly looking to see how you're feeling before. So you could actually name this as before, and say 1 equal bad, um, meaning if I feel like I'm 1, I'm going to want to say, if I edit this property, we're going to do bar green and then divide it by 10 and show the number. Cool. So we got a number. We're going to say, and for now, we're going to leave these categories blank because it is a template. Before, we're going to dupe this, call it during 1 equal bad, meaning that 1 feels bad and 10 means great. I'm feeling like Lance Armstrong on the bike, 1 being I feel like Kevin James running uphill. I don't know. And then we're going to dupe the last one, and we're going to call it after 1 equals bad. Cool. Cool. So we got before, during, after. This is just good to gauge how you felt during the workout. I think it's important to know how your actual body, like perceived amount of exertion feels. It's important for how you train. And specifically, I'm going to also create a created time. This is something that we can always hide. And the reason I say that is because sometimes we just need to know when we made something. It might give us reference to in the future of like when you schedule to work out. It's good to have a created category just to have a log of when you made the thing. It serves as a good fail-safe. So this is our new workout template for the above section. Since there's nobody else that's going to be on this segment here, I'm also going to customize the page, and we're going to, by default, turn the page comments to minimal. Sorry, top level discussions we're going to turn off. Page comments minimal. Just because we don't have anything, nobody's commenting on this. If you had a coach or something, maybe that'd be different, and you could use Notion to do that. But for now, let's just start with an empty page, no comments, and then workout. So I'm using markup language, but I can use workout in brief. This is essentially saying, I wonder if there's a subhead category. Not really. What we're going to do is just say to ourselves, what did this workout entail in 1 sentence? With this in mind, it's good to have just like a brief synopsis because you're going to have more information in here, and sometimes it's not easy to read all the information all at once. But on the plus side, that's why we have a brief. So our notes, we have before, cool, how am I feeling? And it's good to have a before, during, and after section, in my opinion, because if we document how we feel during, before, during, and after, we're really giving ourselves more information. And again, this is kind of like a journal. I mean, the goal of all of this is to eliminate the paper writing down of the journal and to give ourselves a space to very quickly and efficiently create a system in which we can get repeatable results. How can we repeat the quality of information documented about our workout? And with these before, during, and afters, we really get to the core of what the workout was about, how it made me feel, and how I recovered. Pretty simple. So that's the crux of your workout template. So with that in mind, let's go back to the all workout page. In this case, we're just going to drop, we'll use this as reference now, but I kind of want to start with a board view. We could do an all. Let's do this. Let's do an all workouts view, and we'll make it a table. And the properties that we'll show, specifically, we want the name of the workout. We want, before, during, and after is kind of irrelevant. We're really looking for the day that it worked on. And then we want the during out. The number of miles, we can probably omit that. And we want the type and subtype. And if it was complete. We can kind of condense this so that so that when you're going into your template, it doesn't take much time at all to view the core of the information that you're looking at. This is just for all workouts as well, so just basic. When we're going into the board view, I think this is when the most powerful view for your workouts comes into play. In this case, we're going to create a board view, hitting the plus sign, and then adding a board view. In this case, I want to go into properties. No. I want to sort. I want to group by. In this case, we want to group by day. In this case, we need to make a filter in our template. So if we want to group by day, then we need to actually tell ourselves what day this is. Unfortunately, there is a way to do this. Notion is powerful in that way. Let's see. We are going to first add a property. It's going to be a formula. We're going to call it day. And then we are going to, this is going to be format date, and then prop date, and then we want to format it as DDDD. Whoops, my bad. Awesome. Okay. So if we're in there, the best thing that we can do is create some workouts. So I'm going to call this workout 1. Got 7. Cool. So we have 7 workouts in here for 7 days of the week. In this case, I'm going to put, let's start with Sunday here. Monday, Saturday. So if we go back to the board view, you'll actually see in the last 30 days, we've got the 7 workouts. Now, with the date category, we can now go into our group, and we can group by day. Now we get the day in which we worked out. What's important about this is that we can apply filters in the future to all board views that include our Monday through Friday and sort. We also want to group this. We want to sort manual, and then whatever day that you want to start. So I'm going to put no day at the end, and I usually start my days on Monday, and then I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and no day. Because the no day is good to be at the end of it and know there's going to be workouts that you forget to log the day, and you can at least drag and drop them in. With this in mind, we have all our workouts, and the next thing we need to do is we can say to ourselves, this is rename it to all days. I'm going to dupe this, and I'm going to call it this week. And the reason we're going to call it this week is because we want to create a filter for date and is within the past week. And if it's in the past week, then it's going to show up. Now, since we are in this timeline, this day, it's not going to show up because we have, technically it didn't happen this week, it happened last week. So there's also going to be a month view that we could pull from this. Rename for month. Dupe. And month. Cool. Did I already do that? Yeah, didn't I? Filter. And is within the past month. Now our workouts show up again. Something that might be good too is we could add within the actual, we can actually look at edit the view. So if we were to show the properties available to us, the best things for us are probably going to be type and subtype, in my opinion. If we show our type and subtype, running, and it was a building workout. Now, with the type and subtype, we can actually see how our week went. We can actually look visually and see, hey, what was I really working on this week? And I'm just going to swap these two. So you could do that for all these. In this case, that's just an example, but you get the picture. Now, we have a week view. I don't know why I'm losing my mind, but I am. Week, month, all days, and this. And this we are going to filter to is within the past week. And we're back to 0. Then month, and then all days. Now, with each of these, you would have to add a specific filter. In this case, like I could show all my properties again and then pull up vehicle and type. And again, this is all to your preference. You can change this however you want. You don't have to do what I do. I'm just showing you how it works. After we've done all this, the last thing I would do is add a day, all days, and then I would do by day ascending. This is just going to, as all your workouts add up and stack up, the more workouts you add, you're going to want the ones that happen most recently on these specific days to be first. At least that's how I like to view them for all days. Now for the month it doesn't matter because it's just 1 or 2 workouts, so it doesn't really matter. Week doesn't work that or matter that much. So add that as you see fit. Now this is the all workouts page here. However, this is just part of the workout log. So in my opinion, it's probably good to go back and since we have all these workouts here, it's probably also good with all our workouts. I just want to create a quick database. I think something that we learn really quickly from working out is that we need to take notes. And a lot of times the notes are going to come in 2 categories. They're either going to come by day or they're going to come by term. So the best way to do this, in my opinion, is let's just do notes and we could call anything. So in this case, I have some information on running periodization. And this is just planning your training over time to perform at a peak level. This is basically how do you not overtrain yourself but get as much hypertrophy as possible in your training. How do you grow? Now, with all this in mind, it's good to have maybe this applies to a specific tag. It would be running in this case, but it could also be lifting. It could also apply to swimming, right? The periodization of running and swimming. Maybe there's a correlation. We don't know. In this case, I'm just going to stick with running, but you could add the type or vehicle that it applies to. And then this note, what we're doing is we're just creating a database of notes. So like if you're trying to learn more information, it's probably good just to have this, kind of work together. And I would say one last thing that you could do is specifically with to notes is we could add date created. Where's created date? There we go. So when you created the note, you don't even have to add a date, but you know when you added it because you could say to yourself, oh, I remember making this note back in the back in this day, and you could source it that way. Other than that, that's the note section is a lot more secondary, but if you wanted to, you could actually add in your new workouts template, you could add a reference. And you could reference notes. And actually, what's funny is you could turn this into a drop-down, and then you could do a data reference to your notes workout log. And now, if there's any notes that you need to add after your workout, you don't have to worry about it right now because all this stuff here is now hidden. Like it doesn't have to be like top of mind, but no, every time that you create a new workout, you create a reference. So you could see more notes, which I think is pretty cool. In fact, is this the template? This is not the template. So let me just open up the new template and let me edit it. So we just need to let's turn this into the drop-down, and let's do a data reference to notes. And then in this case, I'm going to call this all notes, but I'm also going to do a new note category, throw this on here, and I'm going to filter this, and I'm really just going to filter this by created time is today. And it's going to show all the notes that you made for today. And you know what? We could actually create one more relationship. I could add a relation is all workouts. Or we want new rated to all workouts. And you could actually add during like what workout this actually applied. So that's another cool thing is workout 2. And you can learn anything about running periodization. Again, it's also not like you need to be adding this all this much. And in fact, it might not even be a primary thing. But in the case that it is, there's a way to add your workouts to your notes and your notes to your workouts. But that all stacks away really nice, and then all you have to worry about is your before, during, and after. Let's go back to the workout log. Think of this like a gym. So let's, change cover, and let's add gym. Okay, let's do this photo here because it looks like a gym. Awesome. Add an icon. We'll add a weight. Cool. Nope. We want weight. There we go. There's a weightlifter. Cute. How fun. Excuse me. Okay, so we have all our workouts. We have our notes. What else would you say would be important to actually creating a system in which we can learn from our workouts? Well, logging our workouts is one thing, but being able to have a training program is also really, really important. So we need to actually log all these workouts within a database. The reason we want to log them as a database is we're actually going to call this training. So let's call it weekly training. And what this means is we're creating weekly programs of training. We just need to document each individual workout as a set of weeks, and we can turn those weeks into quarters and those quarters into years. The best way to log workouts is to start small. The best way to create systems of constant improvement is to look big. Building big is just about creating incremental steps up to that big picture using something like a weekly training log. So the first category that we need to add is a number. I'm actually going to call it. We're going to call this your week, and this, I would say, the best way to go at it is to use your date as reference. So in this case, we started our week on Monday the 2nd, so 01/02 through, and we want to add, I believe it was 07. 07, 08. There we go. So between 02 and 08 of this month, this is just to, if we were to select this week, we need to know what this week looks like very quickly. It's good to just use it as a date. If you used week 1 or week 2 or week 3, you could add weeks if you wanted to. So you could, let's call it this way. So let's say you're adding prep, like your actual number of preps. And what prep is like, say you're prepping for race number 1. Let's call it race, prep number 1. And then we also want to add another number, and it would be week prep week. So with prep week, let's call it period, and we'll call this the week number. And the reason we'll call it the week number is you could always reference using a formula later on. You could combine prep and week and say week 1 or prep 1, week 2, and you could find that period. Or you could find period and see which prep it was and which week it was. So using these fields, you can reference material easier. Again, that's just one way of going at it. We need to make this a date field. Edit property and create a date. Cool. I'm going to call it 24 hours, date format it, year, month, day. Cool. With that in mind, we do want to select our month, day, and our end day. This creates our period of time, finally, which is nice. After all that, we've set up our week, our prep, our week. So 1/1, there's race 1, week 1, period. This is the date period, and here's our date physically to reference. We're going to open this up. Now, what's important to know? Well, we probably need to create a template. So every week has its own template. And if we're going to create our own template, we need to know a few things. Let's go full width, because I'm a kook like that, I guess. Weekly training template. Awesome. I'm going to create a relationship between our workouts and our weekly training, because if we have if we create this relationship, there's no limit, show add relation, throw that at the top. So any workouts that we have are going to relate to our workouts here, and this will kind of play more importance in a second. But what we need now is to create a database reference. So we're going to create a linked database to our workouts. In this case, the filter for this is going to be one rule. It's going to be where we need to create training week. We're going to create source all workouts. Training week. Cool. And then we want to create a filter where filter where weekly training contains the weekly training template. Now, what just happened there? Not much, but whenever we create a workout now, that workout applies to the weekly training template. Here's how. So go back to your workout log. You're going to log one of your workouts, right? And workout one here is running with speed work, and then you ran 5 miles, and you felt like 5, and then 7, and then 4 or 3, let's say. There were no notes for today, but we did train the week of 01, 02 to 08. We did train this week. So, with this in mind, create a new workout template just to say we did it, right? Now, if I go here and create a new weekly training template, the workout shows up. How does that happen? We've created this relationship where we want, we're having our workouts sync up with our weekly training habits. So we know if something's been completed. We have a date in which that was completed, the name of the workout. We can call this workout. And we have the type. Most importantly, we could also add one of our properties. In this case, something that might be important is the amount of miles that we trained. So in our weekly training template, we could add a roll up. This should work. Type roll up, all workouts, property, miles, calculate, and show the sum. In this case, there are none in the template because nothing's been actually attributed to the template. However, if you were to show the property for roll up, in this case, roll up, here we go. Total miles. Now, we're going to call this 2023, right? And we're going to filter it by date is a custom date. It's going to be Jan 1 within starting Jan 1 and ending 2023 12/31. All of 2023 periods right here, and you could narrow it down by quarter. So in this case, you could do every quarter, right? I could do every quarter, and for the sake of time, I'm not going to. But with this table here, you could also rename it all weeks. You could look at all of your total training weeks and not worry about time references, right? Boom, all weeks, and then 2023, and then you could also look at for this week. For right now, this will do. We can always go back and we can add more later. Um, what else do we need to know? So we've combined our workouts to weekly training periods. Um, this is all said and good. What might be good with any good workout logging app? It's probably to create a way to log these really easily. So I'm going to first call this, let's do index. Okay, so we created an index that cleans everything up, and I'll put a color on it at green. Now, anytime that you walk in here and you're telling yourself, I need to log a new workout, right? Awesome. Congratulations. You want to log a new workout. I'm happy for you. We're going to do a data reference to all workouts. We're going to create a new view called new workout. And we're going to make it a card view, gallery view. In my opinion, it's really easy to visualize information using a card in a small amount of information and time, because you can also do that on your phone. Like, we use our phone so much, it's good to just click add from your phone and have a card show instead of like these tables. So create a gallery. The card preview is just going to be none. Card size is medium, and it'll enter in center peak. Done. Now the filter. The filter is going to be for date is today, because we're saying today I did a workout. So when you walk into your gym, you now have your new workout, right? And when this shows up like this on your phone, you still have this big new button, and you don't have to worry about, tiny tables or anything like that. It looks just super easy and nice. Um, so now, in fact, it might be easy just to put the new workout there. Since we know that this is our workout, we can hide the database title. New workout creates a new workout. So let's say we created a new workout for 2023-01-16. We can say that we trained in this period. We trained running. We did a long run. It was on a Monday. We ran 10 miles. That's complete. I felt like a 6, and then I was a solid 9. I felt like I could do everything, but then I definitely blasted myself. There were no notes to take. And in fact, because I don't have many notes to take all the time, um, I can actually hide this. Now, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please ask a comment and let me see if I can work it out with you. I'd be happy to try to answer your questions, because I probably will learn a lot in the process and I really want to learn more. So there's our weekly training, there's our workout log, and we can create new workouts whenever we so choose. We're in a full width, and we got an area here. One last thing you could add would be a quote of the week. I know this can be something that just gets passed up. I truly believe in a quote of the week. It's something that adds some context to what you're doing. If that's the case, you could do a call out, and there is your quote. And if it makes you feel any better, you could create a database of quotes. Maybe there's quotes that you add each week, and that's like your theme, and you could add that quote into your workout, and now you got like a theme, right? So think about it in these systems where you could just keep stacking stuff on, and if you feel like you would want me to stack that stuff on, we can create iterations of this workout template to that advantage. So with all this in mind, we got our quote, got our new workout, got our index of workouts, our notes, and our weekly training. This is the basic workout log template, um, and it is a place in which you can create a better life for yourself, in my opinion, because it systematizes what you do every day with what you can do every week, with what you can do every month, every year, and beyond. So, with that in mind, I want to say thank you for taking the time to go over how this template works and showing and letting me show you just how you can log workouts and how they can apply to a system of living, um, and how you can basically you can create training programs for yourself. So you could document from day one to the end of week 16 of a prep, and know exactly how you felt and replicate those results and add to them and adapt them over time. But you have everything cataloged in one place, ready to go in Notion. So with that, my name is Connor. Thank you for taking the time to take a look at this. This is available on my website, and that website is Connor, CONNORBYRNE.net/shop. And you can find the workout log along with other artwork and other templates. Um, but if you feel like this would add value to your life, go ahead there. If you feel like it adds value to your life and you need assistance in getting it, you can always email support@connorburn.net. Be happy to help. Um, but in the meantime, be good to yourselves, be better than others, and I will see you all next time. Peace.